Tíðir okkar og vorum var Glasgow. Við skulum tjalda í grænum bergamó. Leitum með vínum í lundin frá í gær. Lindin þar niðar og virkir Ísland græn. Leikur í ljósum, lokkum og ángandi rósum. Leikur í ljósum.
Why do you always wear black?
I'm in mourning for my life. I'm unhappy.
But why should you be unhappy? I don't understand it. You're healthy and your father has good income. My life is far harder than yours. I only have 23 rubles a month to live on. But I don't wear mourning.
Happiness does not depend on riches. Poor men are often happy.
In theory, yes, but actually, no. Take my case, for instance. My mother, my 2 sisters, and my little brother and I must all live somehow on my salary of 23 rubles a month. And we have to eat and drink and, go without tea and sugar or tobacco. Oh. I mean, answer me that if you can.
The play will begin soon.
Yes. Nina Zarechnia is going to act in Konstantin Treplev's play. They love each other, and their 2 souls will unite tonight in the effort to interpret the same idea by different means. There's no ground on which your soul and mine can meet. But I love you. Too restless and sad to stay at home. I come here every day, 6 miles and back, only to be met by your indifference. I am poor. My family is large, and you have no reason to marry a man who cannot even find sufficient food for his own mouth.
It's not that. I'm touched by your love, but I cannot return it. That's all. Here.
No, thank you.
It's so humid. There's a storm brewing. You do nothing but theorize and talk about money. To you, poverty is the greatest misfortune that can befall a man, but I think it's 1,000 times easier to be a ragged beggar than... You wouldn't understand.
For some reason, my boy, country life doesn't suit me, and I am sure I shall never get used to it. Last night I went to bed at 10 and woke up at 9 this morning, feeling as if from oversleeping my brain had stuck to my skull. And yet I accidentally dropped off to sleep again after dinner and feel utterly done up at this moment. It is like a nightmare.
Yes, no doubt you should be living in town. You'll be called when the play begins, my friends, but you shouldn't be here. Go home now.
Masha, will you kindly ask your father to untie the dog? It was howling all night and my sister was unable to sleep.
You can speak to my father yourself. Don't ask me. I'm not going to. Come on.
You'll let us know when the play begins.
Ugh, that dog's going to howl all night again. It's always this way in the country. I have never been able to live the way I want to here. I come down for a month's holiday to rest and all, and am plagued so by their nonsense that I long to escape after the first day. I've always been glad to get away from this place, but I have been retired now. And this was the only place I had come to. Willy-nilly, one must live somewhere.
Just like a real theater. See, there we have the curtain, the foreground, the background, and all. No artificial scenery needed. You can see the lake and the horizon perfectly. And at 8:30, the moon will rise.
Splendid.
Of course, the whole effect will be ruined if Nina is late. She should be here by now, but her father and stepmother watch her so closely, it is like stealing her from a prison to get her away from home. Your hair and beard are all on end. You should get them trimmed.
Ah, they are the tragedy of my existence. Even when I was young, I always looked like I was drunk. Women have never liked me. Why is my sister out of temper?
Why? Because she is jealous and bored. She's not acting this evening, but Nina is, so she has set herself against me, and against the performance of the play, and against the play itself, without ever having read it.
Does she really?
Yes, she is furious because Nina is going to be a success on this little stage, not her. My mother is a psychological curiosity, without a doubt brilliant and talented, capable of sobbing over a novel, of reciting all of Nekrasov's poetry by heart, caring for the sick like an angel. You should see her, what happens if anybody praises deuce to her. She alone must be praised and written about, raved over. Her marvelous acting in La Dame Gamelia extolled to the skies. But since she can't get all that nonsense out here in the country, she gets bored and irritable, thinks we're all against her and to blame for it all. Then she's stingy. I know for a fact that she has 70,000 rubles at a bank in Odessa, but she's willing to cry and burst in tears if you so much as ask her to lend you a penny.
You have taken it into your head that your mother hates your play. Keep calm, your mother adores you.
She loves me. She loves me not. She loves me. She loves me not. You see, my mother doesn't love me. Why should she? She wants to live and love and wear fancy clothes, and here I am, 25 years old, a constant reminder to her that she is no longer young. When I'm not around, she is 32, but when I am, she's 43. She hates me for it. She also knows that I despise the modern stage. She adores it, imagines that she is working for the benefit of humanity in her sacred art. To me, the theater is merely a vehicle of convention and prejudice. When the curtain rises on that little three-walled room, when those mighty geniuses, those high priests of art, show us people in the act of eating, drinking, loving, walking, and wearing their coats in an attempt to extract a moral from their insipid talk, when playwrights give us under 1,000 different guises the same old stuff, then I run from it. As Maupassant ran from the Eiffel Tower because of its vulgarity, pulverizing his brain.
We can't do without a theater.
No, but we must have new forms. We'd be better off with nothing if we can't have that. I love my mother. I think she lives a stupid life. Sometimes I feel the selfish impulse, and then I regret that my mother is an actress at all. Sometimes I think if she were an ordinary woman, I think I would be happier. What could be more hopeless than my stupid situation, Uncle? When I find myself the only non-entity among a crowd of her guests, all celebrities, actors, writers, I feel that they only put up with me because I am her son. I'm nothing. Nobody. I pulled through the third year of my college by the skin of my teeth, as I say. I have neither money nor brains. On my passport it says that I'm petit bourgeois from Kiev. My father was as well, but he was a famous actor. When the celebrities that frequent my mother's drawing room deign to notice me at all, I know they only look at me to measure my insignificance. And I read their thoughts and suffer from humiliation.
Tell me, by the way, what is Trigorin like? I can't understand him. He's always so silent.
He's a clever man, simple, well-mannered, and a little melancholy, you could say. He's not even 40 and he's already famous. As for his stories, they are, how shall I put it? They're charming, intellectual. But if you read Tolstoy or Zola, you wouldn't want to read Trigorin.
Well, my boy, I like literary men. I once desired two things in my life, to marry and to become a writer. I have succeeded in neither. It must be nice to be even an insignificant writer.
Somebody's coming. I can't live without her. Even the sound of her footsteps are music to me. Oh, my enchantress. Oh, the girl of my dreams!
Oh, wait, am I?
No.
Oh, I've been in a fever all day. I was afraid my father would keep me from coming, but he and my stepmother have just gone out. The sky is clear, the moon is rising. I tried to get here as fast as I could, but I'm happy.
Your eyes look as if you've been crying. You mustn't do that.
It's nothing. We should hurry. I have to leave in half an hour. Don't keep me here for any longer, for God's sake. My father doesn't know I'm here.
Well, in fact, we should be starting now. I'll go call everyone.
You know what? Let me call them. I'll go. Right this minute. I was singing that once when a fellow lawyer said to me, "You have a powerful voice, sir." Then he thought about it and said, "But it's terrible."
Father and his wife will never let me come here. They say it's too bohemian. They're scared I'll become an actress. But I'm drawn to this lake, like a seagull. My heart is full of you all.
It's just us here.
Isn't that someone over there?
No.
What's that tree over there?
Oh, an elm.
Why does it look so dark?
It's evening. Everything looks dark. Please don't leave so soon, I beg you.
I have to.
What if I come to your house, Nina? I'll stand beneath your window in the garden all night, just looking at your window.
That wouldn't be a good idea. The watchman would catch you, and Treasure isn't used to you. He'd bark.
I love you.
Shh.
Are you nervous?
Yes. Very. I'm not so much afraid of your mother as I am of Trigorin. Oh, I'm terrified to act in front of him. He's so famous. Is he young?
Yes.
He writes such lovely stories.
I wouldn't know. I haven't read any of them.
Your play's very hard to act in. There aren't any living characters.
Living characters? You have to write not as life is, but as it ought to be, as it appears in dreams.
Well, yes, but there's no action. It's just a lot of speeches. And I think there should always be love.
Well, I will tell you this right now. I've never been more excited for a play of Treplev's in my life. I mean, think about it. The amount of energy and time that he puts into each show, each performance. I mean, think about it. He loves the arts. He loves theater. And I guess I can never really admit how I truly feel about some things.
It's getting damp. Go back in and put on your galoshes.
I'm hot.
You never take care of yourself. You're a doctor. You know too well that damp air is bad for you. You like to see me suffer. That's what it is. You sat on the terrace all yesterday evening on purpose.
Oh, where have my young days gone?
You were so enchanted by your conversation with Irina Arkadina that you could not even notice the cold. Say it. You find her attractive.
I'm 55.
You're well preserved and people still think you're attractive.
What are you trying to tell me?
You're so eager to bow down to an actress.
Standing here before you. It only makes sense that artists should be made much of by society and treated differently from businessmen. We call that idealism.
When women loved you and hung themselves around your shoulders, that was idealism too.
Oh, I don't know. There has been a great deal that was admirable in my relations with women. They liked me best for being a good doctor. 10 years ago, if you remember. I was the only decent doctor they had in this part of the country. I've been honest, too.
Darling!
Oh, be quiet, they're coming.
She gave an excellent performance at the Poltava Fair 20 years ago. Oh, she was really magnificent. Oh, tell me, what's become of that comic actor, Chadin? Ah, he was amazing in Kruszinski's Wedding. Far more superior than Sadovsky. Where is he now?
Why are you asking me about all these ancient names? I haven't the faintest idea.
Pashka Chadin. There are none left like him. The stage is not what it used to be. Once it was full of great oaks, or now we see but tree stumps.
It is true, we've got fewer brilliant minds these days, but the standard of acting is much higher.
I have to disagree. Although I suppose it's a matter of taste. Du gustibus.
Ah, my son, when will the play be starting?
In a minute. Just be patient, please.
My son, thou turn'st mine eyes into my very soul, and there I see such black-grained spots as will not leave their tinct.
Your attention, please, ladies and gentlemen. The play is about to begin. I shall commence. Oh, ye time-honored ancient mists that drive at night across the surface of this lake. Blind you our eyes with sleep, and show us in our dreams that which will be in 20,000 years.
There will be nothing in 20,000 years.
Then let them show us that nothing.
Yes, let them. We're supposed to go to sleep.
All men and beasts, lions, eagles and quails, horned stags, geese, spiders, silent fish that inhabit the waves, starfish from the sea, and creatures invisible to the eye. All life, completing the dreary round imposed upon it, has died out at last. 1,000 years have passed since the earth last bore a living creature on her breast, and the unhappy moon now lights her lamp in vain. No longer are the cries of storks heard in the meadows, or the drone of beetles in the groves of limes. All is cold, cold. All is void, void, void. All is terrible, terrible. The bodies of all living creatures have dropped to dust, and eternal matter has transformed them into stones and water and clouds, but their spirits have flowed together into one soul, and that great world soul am I. In me rest the spirits of Alexander the Great, of Napoleon, of Caesar, of Shakespeare, and of the tiniest leech that swims. In me, the consciousness of man has joined hands with the instinct of animal. I understand all, and each life lives again in me.
Ah, yes, those decadent things.
I am alone. Once in 100 years my lips are opened. My voice echoes mournfully across the desert earth, and no one hears. And you, poor lights of the marsh, you do not hear me. You are engendered at sunset in the putrid mud, and flit wavering about the lake till dawn, unconscious, unreasoning, unwarmed by the breath of life. Like a captive, in a dungeon deep and void, I know not where I am, nor what awaits me. Only one thing is clear to me. In my fierce and obstinate battle with the devil, the sources of the forces of matter, I am destined to be victorious in the end. Matter and spirit will then be one at last in glorious harmony, and the reign of freedom will begin on earth. but this can only pass by slow degrees, when after countless eons the moon and earth and shining Sirius himself shall fall to dust. Until that hour, oh, horror, horror, horror! See, my mighty foe, the devil advances. I see his dread and lurid eyes.
I smell sulfur. Is that supposed to happen?
Yes.
Oh, I see. It's a special effect.
He is lonely without man, and
Took your hat off again. You're going to catch a cold.
The doctor has taken off her hat to praise the devil, father of eternal matter.
No, the play's over.
What on earth's the matter with him? Why are you so angry?
The curtain, down with it. I'm sorry. I forgot that only the chosen elite can write and act in plays. I've upset the monopoly.
What on earth's the matter with him?
Youthful egoism. You ought to be more careful with it, sister.
Why? What did I say?
You hurt his feelings.
But he told me himself that this was all in fun, so I treated his play as if it were fun.
Nevertheless.
Now it appears that he has made a masterpiece. I think it was not meant to amuse us at all, but he arranged the performance and fumigated us with sulfur to demonstrate to us how plays should be written and what is worth acting. I am tired of him. No one could put up with these insults. He is a moody, arrogant boy.
He was trying to make you happy.
Is that so? Then why didn't he choose an ordinary play rather than this gibberish? Not that I'm unwilling to listen to any gibberish, so long that it's funny. But he's pretending to introduce us to a new form of art, or a new era. If you ask me, there was nothing new about it. It was simply an exhibition of bad temper.
Everybody must write as he feels to the best of his ability.
Let him write as he feels to the best of his ability, but leave me out of it.
Wrath of Jupiter.
I am not Jupiter. I am a woman. And I'm not angry, just peeved to see a young man waste his time on such foolish things. I didn't mean to hurt his feelings.
You know, no one has any ground for separating spirits from matter, as the spirits may well consist of the union of material atoms. You should write a play about a teacher's life, Trigorin. Put that on the stage. We live a very, very hard life.
I agree with you, but let's not talk about plays or atoms now. What a lovely evening! Do you hear that, the singing?
Yes, they're singing across the water.
10 or 15 years ago, we had music and singing on this lake almost every night. There are 6 houses on its shores. Oh, it was so full of noise, of laughter, of love, so much love. But my conscience is beginning to prick me. Why did I hurt my poor boy? I'm starting to worry about him. Konstantin! Kostya!
I'll go look for him.
Thank you, my dear.
Konstantin! Oh, Konstantin!
well, clearly not finishing the show, so I suppose I can come out now. Good evening, everyone.
Bravo! Bravo!
Bravo! Bravo! We were quite charmed by your acting. With your looks and such a lovely voice, it would be a crime for you to keep yourself in the country. You must be very talented. It's your duty to go onto the stage. Do you hear
It
me?
is the dream of my life, but never happened.
You never know, my dear. But let me introduce you to Boris Trigorin.
It's a pleasure. Read all your books.
Don't be afraid of him, dear. He's a simple, good-natured soul, even if he is a celebrity. See, he's shy, too.
It's a strange play, isn't it?
Oh, yes, very. I couldn't understand it at all, but I enjoyed watching it. You acted with such sincerity. The setting was beautiful. Bet there's a lot of fish in that lake.
Yes, there are.
I love fishing. To me, there's nothing better than to sit on the bank at twilight with my eyes fixed on my lure.
I would have thought that for someone who knows the joys of creativity, no other pleasure could exist.
Don't speak to him like that. He has no idea how to act when people say nice things to him.
I remember when the famous Silva was singing once at the Moscow Opera House. How exciting it was when he hit the low C. Well, you can imagine our amazement when one of the members of our church choir, who happened to be sitting in the gallery, suddenly boomed out, "Bravo, Silva!" A whole octave lower, like this. "Bravo, Silva!" The audience was speechless.
The angel of silence flying over our heads.
I have to go. Goodbye.
Where? It's so early. We mustn't let you go.
Father's waiting for me.
How cruel he is, really. Then I suppose we can't keep you. I hate to let you go.
If you only knew how hard it is for me to leave you all.
Somebody should see you home, darling.
Oh, no, no.
Oh, do stay.
I can't.
Just another hour. I mean, you know what I mean.
No. No, I can't.
She really is an unlucky girl.
Yes, her father is a dreadful man, and I don't care who hears me say it.
Come on, let's go inside. It's damp out and my legs ache.
Yes, they look stiff as wood. You can hardly move them. Come on then, you poor old man.
Madame?
I can hear the dog howling again. Would you please have it unchained, Shamrayev?
No, I really can't, sir. I don't want thieves breaking into the barn. All the millet's in there. Yes, a whole octave lower. Bravo, Silva! And he wasn't even a singer, just a plain church cantor.
Now, how much money does a member of the choir make?
Maybe I'm out of my mind, but I have to say I liked that play. There was something in it. When the girl spoke of her solitude and the devil's eyes gleamed across the lake, I felt my hands shaking with excitement. It was so fresh and naive. Oh, here he comes. I'll say something really nice to him.
Everyone's gone inside already?
I'm here.
Masha's been yelling my name all through the garden, insufferable creature.
Konstantin, I really enjoyed your play. It was strange, of course, and I didn't get to see the end, but it made a wonderful impression on me. You have a great deal of talent and must persevere in your work. Oh my God, you're quite wound up. Oh, listen to me. You chose your subject from the realm of abstract thought, and you were right to do so. It's essential for a work of art to be expressing some big idea. Things are only beautiful when they're serious. You're quite pale.
You think I should keep going?
Yes, but you must use your talents to express only important and eternal truths. As you know, I have led an interesting, fulfilling life. But if I ever have to experience the exaltation that an artist feels during his moments of creativity, I think I would detest my physical existence and everything connected with it, and I'd soar away into oblivion, far from this earth.
But where's Nina?
And another thing, every work of art should have one clear idea. You should know why you are writing, because if you follow the road of art without knowing where you're going, you will lose yourself, and all your talent will be your destruction.
Where's Nina?
She went home.
Went home? What am I going to do? I want to see her. I must see her. I'll follow her.
Shh, calm down.
I'm going. I have to.
Your mother wants you to come inside, Konstantin. She's waiting for you. She's very uneasy.
Tell her I've gone away, and all of you just leave me alone. Go away. Stop following me.
Come, dear boy, come. Don't act like this. It's not very kind.
Goodbye, doctor. And thank you.
Ah, youth. Youth.
They always say youth, youth, when there's nothing better to say.
Don't do that. It's bad for you. I've imagined they've started playing. I should go inside.
Just a minute.
What is it?
I know I've said it before, but let me say it again. I want to talk to you. I don't love my father, so my heart turns to you. For some reason, I feel that you're close to me. Please help me. Help me, or I shall do something stupid and make a joke of my life and ruin it. I'm at the end of my rope.
What is the matter? How can I help you?
I'm in agony. No one can imagine how I feel. I love Konstantin.
Oh, everyone is so high-strung. And so much love. Oh, this lake must be casting a spell on us. What can I do for you, my child? What? What?
Rauður skinni á krækilingislag Gleðin fríðandi mild og angurvær og leikur í ljósum lokkum og angandi
Masha, come, get up. Stand next to me. You are 22, and I am almost twice your age. Tell me, doctor, which of us looks younger?
You do, of course.
There you go. And why is that? Because I work. My heart and mind are always busy, whereas you never move from the same spot. You don't live.
I feel as though I've been alive for thousands of years, dragging my life behind me like a never-ending scarf. Oftentimes, I have no desire to live. But that's just absurd. All I need to do is shake it all away and snap out of it.
Tell her, oh flower.
And I'm always as correct looking as an Englishman. I must be perfectly turned out, as they say. Do you think I would dare let myself leave my house in some jacket or without doing my hair? Absolutely not. Unlike some women, I've never let myself go. See how nimble I am? I could play a 15-year-old girl if I wanted to.
I see. I'm going to keep reading. We had gotten to the flower cellar and the rats.
Ah, yes, the rats. Go on. Actually, give me the book. It's my turn to read. The rats. Ah, here we are. It is as dangerous for society to attract and indulge authors as it is for grain dealers to raise rats in their granaries. Nevertheless, society dotes on writers, and so, when a woman has found a writer that she wishes to make her own, she besieges him with compliments and flattery. Well, maybe in France, but here? No. Here, a woman is usually head over ears in love with an author before she even attempts to lay siege on him. Look at me and Trigorin. We're the perfect example of that.
Yes, we're happy today. We are enjoying ourselves today. Father and stepmother have gone off to Tver, and we've got 3 whole days of freedom.
Yes. So happy I'm all yours.
Doesn't she look lovely today?
Yes. What a pretty dress. How sweet looking. Very nice of you. But we mustn't praise her too much. We don't want to spoil her. Where's Boris?
Oh, he's fishing down by the water.
I'm surprised he isn't bored.
What are you reading?
Oh, On the Water by Maupassant. But the rest is neither true nor interesting. Can anyone tell me what's the matter with my son? Why is he so gloomy and temperamental lately? He spends all his days by the lake. I barely even see him anymore.
He's depressed. Could you read something from his play?
You want me to? Really not that interesting.
Oh, When he reads it out loud, his eyes just light up, and his face grows pale. His voice is so sad and beautiful. He has the ways of a poet.
Oh, good night.
Patricia! Are you asleep?
No, of course not.
You really ought to take better care of yourself.
Oh, take care of oneself at 60 years old.
One still wants to live at 60.
Then have some chamomile tea.
I think a trip to the spa would be good for him.
Oh, he might do that, yes. Oh, or he might not.
You don't understand.
There's nothing to understand in this case. It's quite clear.
Pyotr Sorin really ought to give up smoking.
What? Bullshit.
No, it's not bullshit. Wine and tobacco destroy your personality. After a cigarette or a glass of vodka, you are no longer Pyotr Sorin, but Pyotr Sorin plus someone else. Your ego falls apart and you start thinking of yourself in the third person.
Well, you can talk. You've led a fruitful life, but me? I served the Justice Department for 28 years, but never lived, never had any experiences. You're satisfied with life. You don't have a care anymore, and that's why you're so philosophical. But I want to live. That's why I drink wine at dinner and smoke cigars.
Yes, you must be taking life seriously. But taking medicine at 60 and feeling sorry that you didn't enjoy your youth is trivial. If you don't mind me saying.
It must be lunchtime. My foot fell asleep.
And she's going to have a couple of drinks before lunch.
Poor girl's been unhappy her entire life.
Oh, so trivial, Your Honor.
You talk like someone who's gotten everything they wanted.
Could anything be more boring than this tedious countryside? It's hot, it's exhausting, and nobody does anything but sit around and philosophize about life. It is nice, my friends, to sit here and listen to you, but I had much rather be alone, in a hotel room, learning my lines for my next role.
Yes, I know that exact feeling.
You would be better off to live in town. You can sit in the study, no one comes in without being announced by the footman. The streets are full of cabs, things like that.
Tell her of flowers.
Here they are. Good afternoon. I am delighted to see you looking so well. Oh, my wife tells me that you mean to go into town together today. Is that so?
Yes, that's right.
That's very nice. But how are you going to get there, madam? We are moving the rye today, and all the men are busy. What horses would you take?
What horses? How should I know what horses?
We have the carriage horses.
The carriage horses! And where am I supposed to find the harnesses for them? Where? Madam, this is absurd. I have the greatest respect for your talents. I willingly sacrificed 10 years of my life for you. But I can't let you have the horses today.
But if I have to go into town, this is bizarre.
You do not know, madam, what it is to run a farm.
Don't you say that again. If that's the way it's going to be, I will leave for Moscow this very day. Order a carriage for me from the village, or else I'll walk to the station.
Well, if that's the case, I quit! You can go find yourself another manager.
It's like this every summer. Every summer I am insulted here. I am never going to set foot in this place again.
The nerve of him. I'm sick and tired of it. I want every single horse brought here now.
How could he refuse anything to Irina Arkadina? She's a famous actress. Surely every wish of hers, big or small, is far more important than farming. This is incredible.
What am I supposed to do? Put yourself in my shoes and tell me, what am I supposed to do?
Let's go and find my sister, and I'll try to get her to stay. Insufferable man. Tyrant.
Sit still, sit still. This is terrible.
Yes, it is terrible. But he won't quit. I'll have a word with him in a minute.
People are so exhausting. Your husband deserves to be thrown out on his ear. But all that'll happen is that old lady Sorin and his sister will be the ones apologizing to him. You'll see.
He sent the carriage horses to the fields, too. These misunderstandings happen all the time. If you only knew how upset they make me. They make me ill. They look at me. I'm shaking. I can't put up with his rudeness. My darling, my love, let me come live with you. Time's passing. We're not young anymore. Let's stop the lying and the hiding before our lives end.
I'm 55 years old. It's too late for me to change the way I live.
I know the reason you refuse me is because of the other women that you're close to. You can't have all of them, I understand. I'm sorry. I can see I'm only bothering you. I'm tortured by jealousy. You must be sick of me now.
No, not at all. How are things in there?
Irina Arkadina's crying and Pyotr Sorin is having an asthma attack.
Oh, let's go get them some chamomile tea.
Here, have some flowers.
Thank you.
So pretty. Give me those flowers. Give me them.
It's strange to see a famous actress crying over something so trivial. Is it not strange, too, that a famous author, a celebrity, with his name in the news, his portrait for sale everywhere, his works translated into many foreign languages, and yet he spends all day fishing, happy enough to have caught 2 minnows? I always thought famous people were proud and approachable. And here we are, weeping and playing cards and losing their tempers just like everybody else.
Are you alone?
Yes? What's that supposed to mean?
I was cruel enough to kill the seagull today. Now I'm laying it beneath. I'm laying it at your feet.
What is wrong with you? What is wrong with you?
I'm going to kill myself soon, too.
I don't recognize you anymore.
Yes. Yes, I've changed since I stopped recognizing you. You've changed towards me. Your eyes are cold. You don't like it when I'm around.
Well, you've been so angry lately, and the things you say are dark and unintelligible. Maybe they're symbolic. Maybe this seagull is a kind of symbol, but it's not one I understand. I'm sorry. I am too simple to understand you.
This all started when my play was disaster. I destroyed it all. I burnt it all. Every page of it. Women never forgive failure. If only you knew how terrible I feel. Your coldness towards me is terrible. I can't believe it. It's as if I woke up one day to find that the lake had dried up or disappeared into the earth. You say you're too simple to understand me. What is there to understand? People hated my play. You hated my play. You think I'm worthless, just like everybody else does. And it's like a dagger in my brain. My stupidity, it's like a snake draining away my brain. Oh, here he comes now. Here comes the real genius, walking along like another Hamlet. Oh, and with his book too. Words, words, words. You feel the warmth of that sun already. You smile. Your eyes melt and glow in its rays. shall not disturb you.
Smokes pot, drinks vodka, always wears black. The teacher's in love with her.
Good afternoon, Trigorin.
Oh. Good afternoon. Well, things have taken an unexpected turn, and now it appears we'll be leaving today. Makes me sad to think you and I may never see each other again. Yeah, I don't get the chance to meet young, interesting girls very often. I can't even remember what it's like to be 18 or 19. What's the result of that? All the young girls I write are barely interesting characters. Yeah, I'd like to swap places with you, even if it's just for an hour, to see the world through your eyes. Find out what kind of person you are.
I'd like to swap places with you.
And why's that?
To find out what it's like to be a famous, talented writer. What is it like to be famous? How does it affect you?
How? Not at all, I don't think. There's two possibilities. Either you're exaggerating my fame, or it doesn't affect me at all.
Okay, what about when you read about yourself in the papers?
If they praise you, you get happy. If they attack you, you get depressed for a few days.
What a wonderful life! If only you knew how much I envy you. Everyone's destinies are so different. Some people drag a weary, useless life behind them, miserable, lost in the crowd, while others, like you, for example, 1 in a million, have a fascinating life full of meaning. You're so lucky.
Am I? Yeah, I hear you talking about fame and happiness and bright destinies, but all these words mean as much to me as, forgive my saying so, sugar plums, which I never eat. You are very young and very sweet.
But your life is so beautiful.
I don't see what's so special about it. Sorry, I have to go back to my writing again. All right. You've stepped on my toes, as they say, and I'm starting to feel a bit steamed up, a bit angry even. All right. Let's talk about this bright and beautiful life of mine. Obsessions sometimes take hold of a man. He may, for instance, think all day and night of nothing but the moon. Now, I have such a moon. All day and night, I'm haunted by a single obsessive thought. I have to write. I have to write. I have to write. I can't even finish one book without something urging me to write another, then a third, then a fourth. I write nonstop at breakneck speed. It's as though I'm on a treadmill. Is there anything bright and beautiful about that? Even here with you, getting steamed up, I don't forget for an instant that an unfinished story is awaiting me. Take that cloud there, the one that looks like a grand piano. Instantly, I make a mental note that I must mention a cloud that looks like a grand piano in my next story. I keep fixating on phrases, the very words that you and I utter. And I'm eager to add all these words to my literary stockpile as soon as I can, thinking that someday they'll be useful to me. And when I finish working, I rush off to the theater or go fishing in the hope that I can just forget about it all. But no, some new subject for a story always comes rolling through my brain like an iron cannonball. It draws me back to my desk, and all of a sudden I have to go back and write once more. It's like that all the time. I must be out of my mind, don't you think? And my friends and family, you think they treat me like a sane man? What are you writing? What are you going to write next? It's always the same old story. But it seems to me that all this praise and admiration, it's all a ruse. That I'm being humored because they know I'm crazy. And sometimes I'm afraid I'm going to get grabbed from behind and sent off to an institution. Writing was agonizing in my youth. A young author, especially before he's successful, feels clumsy, uneasy, unnecessary to the world. His nerves are all on edge and stretched to the breaking point. He can't stop being attracted to literary and artistic people, hovering around them, unknown, unnoticed, afraid to look anyone directly in the eye, like a compulsive gambler with no money. I was utterly terrified of the public. When my first play opened, it was as if all the dark eyes in the audience looked at it with disgust. All the bright ones looked with cold indifference. It's horrible.
But your inspiration and creativity must give you moments of happiness.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, writing on its own is enjoyable to me. I like reading the proofs. But the minute it's published, I can't stand it. It's not what I meant to be. It's a mistake. I should have never written it in the first place. I'm discouraged. I feel useless. Then the public reads it and says, yes, it's charming and clever, but not nearly as good as Tolstoy. Or, it's a lovely thing, but Turgenev's Fathers and Sons was better. And that's how it's always going to be. It'll be charming and clever till the day I die. And when I'm gone, everyone who knew me, when they pass by my grave, will say, here lies Trigorin, a charming and clever writer, but not as good as Turgenev.
I'm sorry. I can't understand you. You're just spoiled by success.
What success? I've never liked myself. As a writer, I don't like myself. I love this lake, the trees, the sky. Nature's voice speaks to me and gives me this passionate desire to write. Yeah, but I'm not just a landscape painter. You know, I'm a citizen too. I love my country and I love its people. I feel that as a writer, it's my duty to be the speaker of their sorrows, of their future, of science, of human rights, etc., etc. And I do talk about all these things. And the public pesters me constantly. They get angry with me, and I end up tearing all over the place like a fox being hunted by hounds. I see life and science speeding further and further away, leaving me behind like a peasant who missed his train. And finally, I come back to the conclusion that all I'm good for is describing landscapes, and that in every other respect, I'm a fraud.
You work too much to realize how important your writing is. So what if you're unhappy with yourself? Everyone else thinks you're a great, wonderful man. If I were a writer like you, I'd dedicate my whole life to the people, but always knowing that their happiness would lie in trying to rise to my level and harnessing themselves to my chariot.
My chariot? Who do you think I am? Agamemnon?
For that happiness of being a writer or an actress, I'd be prepared to suffer poverty, the resentment of my family, the hatred of my friends, and the pangs of my own dissatisfaction with myself. But in return, I'd ask for fame. Real, spectacular fame. Oh, my head is spinning.
Boris! Boris!
Oh, I'm being called. Probably to go and pack. I don't want to leave this place. It's paradise here.
See that house over there?
Yes.
That's my mother's house. I was born there. I've spent my whole life besides this lake. I know every little island on it.
It really is a lovely place. What is that?
It's a seagull. Konstantin shot it.
A beautiful bird. Really, I don't want to leave this place. Can't you persuade Irina to stay?
What are you writing?
Oh, nothing much. An idea just popped into my head. Idea for a short story. A young girl, just like you, grows up on the shores of a lake. She loves the lake. Like a seagull. She's happy and free. Like a seagull. But a man comes by, sees her, and because he has nothing better to do, destroys her. Just like this seagull here.
Boris, where are you?
Coming! What is it?
We're staying after all.
I must be dreaming.
I'm gonna get married to Medvedenko.
The teacher?
Yes.
I think that's overdoing it.
Oh, if you knew what it's like to love without hope for years and years, waiting forever for something that'll never come. But once I'm married, there will be no time left for love, and all the old troubles will be blotted out by new ones. It'll be a change, you know? How about another drink?
Haven't you had enough?
Oh, there we are. Don't give me that look. Women drink more often than you think, but most of them do it secretly, not openly like me. Oh, and it's always either vodka or brandy. To your health. You're an honest man. I'm sorry to see you go.
And I'm sorry to leave.
You can go ask her to stay.
Oh no, she is not going to stay now. Her son's been acting outrageous. First he tried to shoot himself, and now I hear he's planning to challenge me to a duel. I have no clue why. He's always sulking and sneering and talking about new forms of art. There's plenty of room for both old and new art. Why is it such a big deal?
He's jealous. Not that that's any of my business. A teacher of mine isn't too bright, but he's a good man. A poor man. And he loves me very much. And I'm sorry for him. And I'm sorry for his old mother. Well, let me say goodbye and wish you a safe trip. Don't think too poorly of me. Thanks for your sympathy. Send me your books and be sure to write a dedication in them. Please don't do anything formal, but simply to Masha. Doesn't know where she belongs or what she's doing on this earth. Goodbye.
Odd or even?
Even.
No, odd. I had 1p in my hand. I wanted to see whether I should become an actress or not. If only someone would give me advice.
You can't give advice about something like that.
So, we're parting. Maybe never to meet again. I'd like you to have this little medallion to remember me by. I had your initials engraved on one side, and on this side is the title of one of your books, Days and Nights.
That's very sweet of you. It's a lovely present.
Think about me sometimes.
I'll never forget you. I'm always going to remember you as I saw you in that bright summer day last week. Do you remember? When you wore your light dress and we talked together, the white seagull was lying on the bench.
Seagull, yes. We should stop talking. Someone's coming. Before you go, I want to see you for a few minutes. Please.
Stay here, you poor old thing. How could you visit us with that rheumatism of yours? Who just left, Nina?
Yes.
Pardon me. I'm afraid we interrupted you. I think everything's packed. I'm exhausted.
Days and Nights, page 121, lines 11 and 12. Are my books in the house?
Yes, they're in my brother's library in the corner cupboard.
Page 121.
Really, I think you'd be better off staying at home.
It's going to be lonely without you here.
What would you do in town?
Oh, nothing much, you know. They're going to be laying the foundation of the courthouse there, and I just want to wake up from this languid existence of mine, even if it's just for an hour or two. I am tired of laying here like an old cigarette holder. I've ordered the carriage for 1 o'clock. We can leave together.
No, you must stay here. Try not to get bored and don't get sick. Keep an eye on my son. Take care of him. Guide him along the proper paths. I'm going away, and I'll never find out why Konstantin shot himself. I think jealousy was the main reason, and the sooner I get Trigorin out of here, the better.
How can I explain this? There were other reasons. He's young, he's clever, living in the depths of the country, with no money, no status, with no future ahead of him, and with nothing to do. I love him very much, and he is fond of me, but still, he feels like he is useless here, that he is little more than a parasite in this house. It's not difficult to understand. It's about self-esteem.
He's such a bother to me. He ought to get a job.
I think the best thing to do would be if you were to give him a bit of money. For one thing, he needs to be able to dress like a human being. Just look at him. He's been wearing the same jacket for 3 years now, and he doesn't even have an overcoat. It wouldn't hurt to let him enjoy himself a bit. Let him go abroad or something. It wouldn't cost much.
Yes, but... Well, I might be able to manage his clothes, but going abroad... And no, I don't think I can let him have his clothes even. I have no money. I don't.
Oh, of course. I'm sorry, my dear. You are a generous, magnanimous woman.
I really don't have the money.
If I had any money, I would easily give him some myself, but I haven't so much as a penny. The estate manager takes my entire pension from me and puts it all into the farm and the cattle and the bees, and it's just a waste. The bees die, the cows die, they never let me have a horse.
I do have some money. But I'm an actress. My costume expenses are enough to bankrupt me.
You're good and kind. I respect you. I don't feel so good. I feel dizzy. I feel faint. You know what I mean?
Patricia, brother! Help! He's fainting.
I'm all right. It's all over now.
Don't be worried, Mother. It's not serious. Uncle has these a lot now. You should go lie down, Uncle.
Yes, I think I shall for a few minutes. I'm still going into town, though. After I lie down for a bit.
Here is a riddle for you. On 4 legs in the morning, on 2 at noon, and on 3 legs in the evening.
Yes, exactly. And flat on one's back at night. Thank you. I can walk alone.
Well, come on, don't stand on ceremony.
He gave me such a dreadful fright.
Shouldn't be living in the country. Just be generous for once, Mother. And lend him, say, 1,500 or 2,000. He could spend a whole year in town.
I have no money. I'm an actress, not a banker.
Mother, Change my bandage for me. You do it so gently.
The doctor's late.
Yes, she said she would be here by 9. It's nearly noon.
Sit down. Your wound is almost completely healed. You won't be pulling any more of these silly stunts again when I'm gone, will you?
No, Mother, I just lost control. It won't happen again. Your touch is magic. I remember when I was a little boy, when you were still acting at the State Theater. There was a fight one day in the courtyard and a poor washerwoman was beaten badly. She was unconscious when they found her. You used to go see her. You nursed her until she was well, and you bathed her children in the tub. Do you remember?
No.
Oh, God. Oh. Yes, well, there were 2 ballerinas who lived on the same block. You used to go drink coffee with them.
That I do remember.
They were very pious. These last few days, Mother, I've loved you more devotedly and tenderly than I did even when I was a child. I have no one left but you. Why do you let yourself be controlled by that man?
You don't understand him, Konstantin. He is a very honorable man.
Well, when he heard that I wanted to challenge him to a duel, that his honor didn't stop him from being a coward, ignominiously running away.
Don't be ridiculous. I'm the one who's asking him to leave.
Yeah, a very honorable man. Here we are virtually quarreling over him while he's in the dressing room or down by the lake having a good laugh at our expense. Working on Nina, trying to convince her that he's a genius.
You enjoy saying these horrible things to me. I deeply admire that man, and I must ask you not to insult him in front of me.
Well, I don't admire him. You want me to think he's a genius? I can't lie about it. His books make me sick.
Envy. People with pretensions and no talent have no other options but to attack real talent. I hope you enjoy the consolation it brings.
Real talent? I have more talent than any of you, if you want to know that. If you want to know the truth. I don't believe in any of you. I don't believe in you or him. I refuse.
Degenerate.
Go back to your beloved theater and keeping acting in this miserable ditchwater plays you love so much.
I have never acted in a play like that in my life. You couldn't even write the trashiest music hall farce, you petite bourgeois parasite!
Miser!
Beggar! No. Don't cry. You mustn't cry. Don't. My dear child. My boy. Forgive me. Forgive your wicked mother. Forgive your miserable mother.
If only you knew. I've lost everything. She doesn't love me anymore. I can't write. Every hope I've ever had has deserted me.
Don't give in to despair. Everything will be okay. I'm leaving with him, and she'll start loving you again. That's enough. We're friends now.
Mother.
Be friends with him too. Don't try to fight him. You won't, will you?
Well, Mother, don't make me see him again. It's too hard. I can't bear to. I see. I'm going. The doctor will do the bandage later.
Page 121, lines 11 and 12. Here we are. If my life could ever be of use to you, come and take it.
The carriage will be here soon.
If my life could ever be of use to you, come and take it.
Are you packed?
Yes. Why do I sense so much sadness that wrings my heart in this appeal of a pure spirit? If my life could ever be of use to you, come and take it. Let's stay just one more day. Come on, let's stay.
I know, dearest. What's keeping you here? You must control yourself. Sober up. You're intoxicated by your emotions.
You must be sober too. Be sensible. Think on it as a real friend would. You know how to make sacrifices. Be a friend to me. Release me.
Are you completely infatuated?
I'm irresistibly attracted to her. She may be exactly what I'm looking for.
What? The love of a country girl? Oh, you don't know yourself at all.
People sometimes walk in their sleep, and even though I'm standing here talking to you, I feel like I'm asleep, dreaming of her. Let me go free.
No, I am only an ordinary woman. You must not say such things to me. Do not torture me, Boris. You're frightening me.
You can be more than an ordinary woman if you want to. Love, enchanting, poetical youth. It's the only thing that can bring happiness on earth. I had no time for it when I was young, struggling, impoverished, bothering publishers, but now I found it. It's finally here, calling to me. Why should I run away from it?
You've lost all your senses.
And what's wrong with that?
You have all conspired together to torture me today.
She won't understand. She doesn't understand.
Am I so old and ugly that you can talk to me about other women like this with no shame? Oh, you are out of your mind. You gorgeous, wonderful man. You are the last chapter of my life. You are my happiness, my joy, my light. If you leave me even for an hour, I won't survive. I'll go mad. Oh, my wonderful man, magnificent man, my king.
Somebody might come in.
Let them come in. I'm not ashamed of my love, my jewel, my despair. You want to be a madman, but I don't want you to do it. I won't let you do it. You are mine. You are mine. This forehead is mine. These eyes are mine. That silky hair is mine. All of you is mine. You're so charming, so clever. You're the best writer in the world. You're the only hope of your country. So fresh and truthful and simple and funny. You can bring out every feature of a man or a landscape in a single line, and your characters live and breathe. No one can read you and not be smitten. Do you think I'm exaggerating? That I'm flattering you? Do you think I'm lying? Come, look into my eyes. Do you see any lies there? No. You see that I alone know how to treasure you. I alone can tell you the truth. Oh, my dear beloved man, you will go with me. You will. You're not going to abandon me.
I have no will of my own. I never did. Passive, feeble, pushover. How can women find that attractive? Take me. Take me away with you. And don't let me out of your sight for 1 second.
Of course, you can stay here if you really want to. I can go. You can join me later in, say, a week. There's no need to hurry.
No. Let's leave together.
Whatever you like. Let's go together then, if that's what you want. What are you doing?
There's a nice expression I heard this morning. A grove of maiden pines. Might be useful.
I'm sorry to have to inform you that the carriage is outside. It's time to leave, dear lady. The train leaves at 2:05. Would you do me a favor, madam, to remember to find out where the actor Suzdaltsev is? I wonder if he's alive and well. He and I used to go out drinking together. Oh, his performance in the mail robbery was untouchable. I remember Ismailov, another marvelous character. Always did tragedies, was in the same company too. There's no rush, madam. You still have 5 minutes. They both played co-conspirators once in the same show. And when they got caught, instead of saying, "Cops, we're trapped," Ismailov cried out, "Tops, we're crapped!" Crapped.
Have some plums for the journey. They're very sweet ones. I thought you might want to nibble on something good on the way.
You're very kind, Polina.
Goodbye, darling. If anything has not been as you wished, please forgive us.
No, everything was wonderful. It was all wonderful. You mustn't cry.
It's time to go unless you want to miss the train. I'm going out to the carriage.
I'll walk over to the station and say goodbye there.
Goodbye, my dears. If we're all alive and well, we shall all meet again next summer.
Send us a letter. Goodbye, Trigorin.
Where is Konstantin? Tell him I'm leaving. I must say goodbye to him.
Forgot something.
Trigorin.
Oh, is that you? We were just about to go.
I had a feeling we would see each other again. Boris, I've made up my mind. The die is cast. I'm going to be an actress. I won't be here tomorrow. I'm deserting my father and starting a new life. I'm leaving everything behind. I'm going to Moscow just like you. We'll see each other there.
Go to the Hotel Slavyansky Bazaar. Let me know as soon as you get there. I'll be at the Grusholsky house on Molchanovka Street. I have to go.
One more minute.
You're so beautiful. I'm so happy to think that I'll see you again soon. I shall see these bright eyes again, this soft, beautiful smile, your gentle face. You look just like an angel, my darling.
Konstantin, where are you? There's no one here. The old man keeps asking, where's Konstantin? Where's Konstantin? He can't live without him.
He's afraid to be left alone. This weather's terrible. It's been storming for 2 days now.
The waves on the lake are enormous.
And it's so dark in the garden. You know, I think someone ought to take down that old stage. It's just stuck there, bare boned and hideous as a skeleton, with the curtains just flapping around in the wind. When I walked past it last night, it sounded like there was someone weeping in there.
Yeah.
Let's go home, Masha.
I'm staying here tonight.
Masha, please. The baby will be hungry.
Matronia will feed him.
It's a pity to leave him 3 nights without his mother.
You've gotten so dull. There was a time when you used to theorize and hypothesize from time to time, but now it's just home, baby. Home, baby. That's all I ever hear from you now.
Let's go, Masha.
You can go.
Your father won't give me a horse.
Yes, he will. Just ask him.
All right, I'll ask him. Will you come home tomorrow?
Yes. Yes, tomorrow. What's this about, Mother?
Pyotr Sorin wants to sleep in Konstantin's room tonight.
Here, I'll make the bed.
Well, I'm going to go. Goodbye, Masha. Goodbye, Mother.
Oh, just go if you're going to.
Goodbye, Konstantin.
you'd wind up becoming a famous writer, Konstantin. Now here you are, getting paid by the magazines. You've gotten quite handsome, too. Dear, kind Konstantin, can't you be a little nicer to my Masha?
Leave him alone, Mother.
She really is a sweet child. Women don't ask for much, Konstantin. Just a kind look. I know that from experience.
See? Now you've made him angry. Told you not to bother him.
I feel sorry for you, Masha.
What's that good for?
My heart aches for you. I see everything. I understand everything.
You're ridiculous. Hopeless love only happens in books. It doesn't mean a damn. All you have to do is get a grip on yourself and expect nothing. The moment you feel love dig its way into your heart, you just have to tear it out again. My husband's getting transferred to another district, and once we're gone, I'll forget everything. I'll rip it out by the roots.
Konstantin's playing. He's sad.
The important thing is, Mother, is to not have to lay eyes on him. If they give my Semyon his transfer, I'll forget all about it in a month or two. It's all so stupid.
6 mouths to feed now. And flowers, 2 kopecks a pound.
Now it'll keep you on your toes.
It's easy for you to laugh about it. You certainly don't have to worry about money.
Money. After 30 years of practice, my friend, practice during so relentless I could not even call my soul my own, I scraped together no more than 2,000, all of which I spent on a recent trip abroad. I haven't a penny.
Have you still not gone?
How can I? They won't give me a horse.
I wish I'd never set eyes on you.
You've made a lot of changes around here. Well, you've turned the drawing room into a study.
Konstantin likes to work in this room. He can step out into the garden whenever he wants to just think.
Where's my sister?
Oh, she's gone to the station to meet Trigorin. She will be back soon.
I must be dangerously ill if you had to send for my sister. It's funny. Here I am, dangerously ill, and you won't give me any medicine.
All right, what would you like? Chamomile tea? Soda? Quinine?
Don't you inflict me with your moralizing. Is that bad for me?
Yes, for you, sir.
Thank you.
The moon swims in the sky tonight.
I'm going to give Kostya an idea for a story. It shall be called The Man Who Wished, L'Homme qui a voulu. When I was young, I wanted to become a writer. I failed. I wished to be a good speaker. I speak abominably. And all that sort of thing or something. You know what I mean. I'd take so long dragging out each sentence. Sometimes I'd break out into a sweat. I wished to marry and I didn't. I wished to live in the city and here I am, ending my days in the country and all that sort of thing.
You wanted to be a district councillor. And you did.
I didn't want that. It just happened.
Complaining about your life at 62 years old. Oh, you must admit that's not very gracious.
You're pig-headed. Can't you see I want to live?
That's just foolish. Every life must come to an end. That's just the law of nature.
The argument of someone with a fulfilled life. You're satisfied, so you don't care. But even you'll be afraid when it's time for you to die. We're keeping Konstantin from his work.
No, it's all right.
Doctor, when you were abroad, which city was your favorite?
Genoa.
Genoa.
Street life is wonderful. When you leave the hotel in the evening, the streets are teeming with people. You can drift through the crowd without any aim or object, swept along from place to place. Their life seems to be yours, and their soul flows into you, and you begin to believe at last in a great world spirit. No, kind of like the play, kind of like the spirit in your play that Nina Zarechnia acted in. By the way, where is Nina now? How is she?
Well, as far as I know,
I heard she was leading a peculiar sort of life. How did that happen?
it's a long story, Doctor.
Tell it shortly.
She ran away from home and went to live with Trigorin. You know that much.
Yes.
She had a baby. The baby died. Trigorin soon lost interest in her and returned to his former ties, as might have been expected. Not like he'd ever broken them, but somehow he spinelessly managed to keep everything going at once. As far as I can understand from what I've heard, Nina's private life has been a disaster.
And what about her acting career?
Even worse, apparently. She made her debut on the stage at a holiday resort in Moscow, and when they went on tour, throughout that time, I never let myself lose sight of her. Wherever she went, I followed. She always attempted great leading roles, but she always shouted her head off and waved her arms around. There were moments where you could see some real talent, like when she died or in the way she shouted, but just moments.
So she does have some talent.
It's hard to say. I think she does. I saw her, but she refused to see me. And her servant wouldn't let me into her room. I understood how she felt, so I didn't insist on meeting. What else is there to say? Sometimes she writes me now that I've come home warm, intelligent letters. Her nerves are overwrought and broken. I can see in each line she always signs herself the Eagle. In Rusalka, the miller says he's a raven. The same way she keeps on repeating she's a seagull. She's here now.
What do you mean, here?
In town, staying at the hotel. She's been here about 5 days. I was going to go see her, but Masha said she wasn't taking any visitors. Semyon told me he had seen her wandering in the fields last night about a mile away.
Yes, I did see her. She was walking away from here in the direction of town. I asked her why she hadn't visited us, but she said she would come.
She won't come. Her father and stepmother have disowned her. They've put guards around the estate so she can't even go near there. How easy it is, Doctor, to be a philosopher on paper. How difficult it is in real life.
She was a lovely girl. Even Counselor Sorin himself was in love with her for a while.
Oh, you old Casanova.
Sounds like they're back from the station.
Hear my mother's voice.
We're all getting old, battered by life, but you, with your light dress, liveliness, your grace.
You're trying to jinx me, you tiresome old man.
Hello there, Pyotr. Not sick again, are you?
Hmm.
Oh, that's not good. Masha? How are you?
You recognized me
Married?
ages ago.
Happy? Konstantin. Your mother told me you've forgotten the past and aren't angry with me anymore.
Here, Boris brought you a magazine with your new story in it.
Oh, thanks. That's very kind of you.
Your admirers all send you their regards. Everyone in Moscow and St. Petersburg is interested in you. They ask me all kinds of questions about you. They ask me what you look like, how old you are. For some reason, they all think you're no longer young, and that no one knows who you are since you use a pen name. You're as mysterious as the man in the iron mask.
You expect to stay here long?
No, I have to go back to Moscow tomorrow. I'm working on finishing another novel, and I've promised something for an anthology. You know, same old story. Oh, that reminds me. I have to go have a look at the garden and that place. Do you remember? It was where your play was performed a couple years ago. I've got an idea for a story. I just need to have a look at the setting, you know, just to refresh my memory.
Father, let my husband have a horse. He ought to go home.
Horse to go home with. Ought to go home. You know the horses have just gotten back from the station. I can't send them out again.
There are other horses.
I'll walk, Masha, really.
Walk in this weather? Shall we get started?
It's only 6 miles. Goodbye. Goodbye, Mother. I don't want to bother anyone. It's just the baby. Goodbye.
He'll be just fine walking. He's not a major general.
Come on, let's begin. Let's not waste time. Dinner will be ready soon.
When the long autumn evenings draw in, we always play Lotto. We use the same set from when our mother used to play with us when we were children. Wouldn't you like to join us for a game before dinner? It's a boring game, but it's all right when you get used to it.
Read his own story. He hasn't even cut the pages of mine.
What about you, Kostya?
I'm sorry, I don't really feel like it. I'm going for a walk.
Everyone ready? All right. 22.
Here it is.
3.
Ah, right.
Did you put down 3? 8. 81. 10.
Don't go so fast.
Can you believe the reception I got in Kharkov? My head is still spinning.
34.
Those students gave me such an ovation. 3 baskets of flowers, a wreath, and this thing here.
Now that is something.
50.
You said 50? 50?
I wore such a magnificent dress. You can say whatever you want to say about me, but I know how to dress.
Konstantin's playing again. Poor boy's depressed.
They've been really going after him in the papers.
77.
You shouldn't pay them any mind.
Well, it's never quite worked for him. He still hasn't figured out his own voice. There's something weird and confusing about his work. It's almost insane. You know he's never created a single living character?
11.
Are you bored, Petrusha? He's sleeping.
District councilor sleeps.
7. 90.
Do you think I ever would have become a writer if I lived on an estate just like this one? I would have subdued my passion and done nothing but fish.
28.
Oh, and if I caught a perch or a bass, heaven.
I believe in Konstantin. He's got something. He thinks in images. His stories are vivid and full of color. They always affect me. It's just a pity that he has no definite objective. He creates an impression, nothing more. And you can't go far on just impressions. Are you happy that your son is a writer?
Can you imagine? I've never read anything of his. I can never find the time.
26.
Oh, by the way, we have that thing that belongs to you, Trigorin.
What thing?
That seagull that Konstantin shot. You asked me to have it stuffed.
I did? I don't remember.
61. 1.
Okay. I don't understand why I'm so on edge.
Shut the window, Kostya. There's a draft.
98.
Full house?
Bravo! Bravo!
Bravo.
Wherever he goes and whatever he does, that man always has good luck. Let's go have something to eat, shall we? The great man himself missed lunch today. We can pick it back up later. Kostya, leave your writing for now. Come eat some dinner.
Don't want anything, Mother. I'm not hungry.
Whatever you say. Dinner time, Petrusha. Now, let me tell you about my reception in Kharkov.
Said so much writing. so much about having new forms of art, but I'm feeling myself gradually slipping into convention. The poster trumpeted from the wall, a pale face framed in dusky hair. Trumpeted, framed. Stupid. I'll start from the place when he gets woken up by the rain and cut everything after. The description of the moonlight evening is too long and elaborate. Trigorin's worked out his own style. Comes easily to him by now. He gives you the neck of a broken bottle glittering on the bank in the moonlight. The shadows lying beneath the black wheel. You see. There's your moonlight evening. I've got the trembling light, the shimmering silence of the stars, the distant chords of the piano dying away in the still, scented air. Horrible. Yes, I'm more convinced that good literature is not a question about new forms or old forms. It's what someone writes about without thinking about form, what comes from their heart. What's that? Who's there? Nina! It's you. Oh my, I knew you would come. My heart's been aching all day. Oh, my darling, my beloved, my beloved has come back. Nina. Let's not cry. We mustn't cry.
Someone's here.
No one's here.
Lock the door. Someone might come in.
No one will come in.
I know your mother is here. Lock the door.
There's no lock on that one. I'll put a door by it.
Let me look at you. Oh. So warm and nice in here. This used to be a drawing room. Have I changed much?
Yes. Thinner. Your eyes are bigger. Nina, it's so strange to have you here. Why didn't you let me see you? Why didn't you come sooner? You've been here nearly a week now. I've gone to try and visit you every day. I've been standing beneath your window like a beggar.
I was afraid you'd hate me. Every night, I dream of you looking right at me and never recognizing me. Ever since I got back, I've been wandering beside the lake. I've been to your house often, but I've never had the courage to come in. Let's sit down. So warm and nice in here. You hear that? The wind whistling outside? Oh, as Turgenev says, on a night like this, happy is the man with the roof over his head and a warm corner to rest in. I'm the seagull. Oh, sorry. What was I saying? Oh, yes. Turgenev. He says, may God help every houseless wanderer.
Nina, you're crying again. Nina.
No, stop. It's all right. It's good for me. It's been 2 years since I cried last. I went to the garden last night to see if our theater was still standing, and it was. And I cried for the first time in 2 years, and my heart grew lighter, and it eased my spirit. See, I'm not crying now. So, you're a writer now. You're a writer, and I'm an actress. We're both caught in the storm. You know, I used to be happy as a child. I used to wake up singing in the morning. I loved you. Dreamed about fame. No. First thing tomorrow, I have to go off to Yates by train. Third class, lots of peasants, and Yates. The educated tradesmen will harass me with their attention. It's an ugly life.
Why are you going to Yates?
Oh, I signed up for their winter season. It's time for me to go.
Nina, I cursed you. I hated you. I tore up all your letters and photographs, and yet I've known every minute of my life that my heart and soul are forever bound to you. I don't have the strength to stop loving you, Nina. Ever since I lost you and my work started being published, my life has been unbearable. I'm in anguish all the time. It's like my whole youth has been ripped away from me, and I feel like I've been in the world for 90 years. I call you. I kiss the ground you walk on. Wherever I look, I see your face, and the smile that lit the best years of my life.
Why is he saying this? Why is he saying this?
I'm so, there's no warmth or affection in my life. I'm as cold as if I was living in a dungeon. Whatever I write is dry, gloomy, horrible. Stay here, Nina. Nina, please. I'm begging you, Nina. Stay here or let me go with you.
My carriage is waiting at the gate. Don't see me off. I'm gonna go alone. Can I have a glass of water?
Where are you going now?
Back into town? Is your mother here?
Yes. My uncle was taken ill on Thursday, so we called her to come up.
Why'd you say you kissed the ground I walk on? She'd kill me instead. I'm so exhausted. I just want to rest. Rest. I'm a seagull. No, I'm an actress. That's it. Oh, yeah, I'm an actress. So he's here, too. Doesn't matter. He never believed in the theater. He laughed at my dreams, and then eventually I stopped believing too. And then came all the stress of love, of jealousy, the constant anxieties about my little boy. I lost my spirit and became trivial. I played my parts without any meaning. I never knew what to do with my hands. I couldn't remember how to stand on stage. I lost control of my voice. You have no idea what that's like to act appallingly and know you're acting appallingly. I'm the seagull. Oh, that's not right. Oh, yes. Do you remember that seagull you shot? Man comes by, sees her, and because he has nothing better to do, destroys her. Do you hear a short story? Oh, it's not right. What was I saying? Oh, yes. I was talking about acting. I'm not like that anymore. Now, I'm a real actress. I act with joy, with love. I'm intoxicated by it, and it makes me feel beautiful. You know, I've been walking and walking, thinking, and ever since I've been here, I can just feel my spiritual strength growing every day. I know now. I understand, Kostya, that for us, whether we write or act, it's not about the fame or the glamour that I always dreamt of. It's about the strength to endure, to keep bearing your cross and keep your faith. I do have faith, and it's not so painful anymore. I'm not afraid of life.
So you found your way. You know where you're going. But I'm still drifting in a chaos of phantoms and dreams, not knowing what all I'll be good for. I don't believe in anything. I don't have faith. I don't know what my calling is.
I have to go. Goodbye. When I become a famous actress, you come and see me. Promise? Now. It's getting late. I can barely stand up. I'm exhausted. Hungry.
Wait here, I'll get you some food.
Oh, no. Don't see me off. I'm going alone. My carriage isn't far. She brought him with her. Oh, what difference does it make? When you see Boris Trigorin, don't say anything to him. I love him. For a short story, I love him. I love him passionately. I love him desperately. Wasn't it good in the old days, Kostya? Do you remember? What a pure, bright, lovely, carefree life we led, and the feelings we had. Like fragile, exquisite little flowers. Do you remember? All men and beasts, lions, eagles and quails, horned stags, geese, spiders, silent fish that inhabit the waves, starfish from the sea, and creatures invisible to the eye. All life, completing the dreary round set before it, has died out at last. 1,000 years have passed since the earth last bore a living creature on its breast. And the unhappy moon now lights her lamp in vain. No longer are the cries of storks heard in the meadows, the drones of beetles in the grove of flies.
Put the wine and beer on the table so we can drink while we're playing. Sit down, everyone.
And don't forget the tea.
Oh, here's the stuffed seagull I was telling you about. You told me to have it done.
I don't remember it at all. Not a bit. Like, really, I do not know what you mean. Why do you keep insisting that I know this Seagull?
Told me about it explicitly.
I don't think
lie about it.
What was that?
I'm sure it probably wasn't anything.
Probably one of the medicine bottles.
I'll go and check. Yep. Just as I thought. A bottle of ether burst. You can all go.
That gave me quite a fright. That reminded me of... Everything went black for a second.
Why don't you all go in?
Trigorin, may I talk to you for a second? Was it Kostya?
Get Irina out of here, however possible. The truth is, Konstantin has shot himself.